Hello guys, my name is Nash. Welcome to Thursday Tales of Terror. TTT! Today we'll be talking about a very high profile case from Thailand. Someone had requested the case from Thailand in one of the comments. Before I begin, I would like to apologize in advance if I do pronounce any names incorrectly. Thai names are hard to pronounce, so please forgive me. The crime happened in the year 2017 and the murderers were known as the Thai murder babes. This case angered many people because of how the murder babes were treated favourably despite the gruesome murder that they committed. Reportedly, while the murder babes were in police custody, they were not handcuffed and there were pictures of them applying makeup. They can be seen posing, laughing with officers and even applying face masks before fronting the media. An Australian newspaper called the woman the most seemingly unapologetic killers in the world. And strangely, the Thai murder babes even inspired merchandise and souvenirs. Totally unbelievable. The case also sparked the debate over the role of the media in reporting crimes and whether the media were trivializing real-life tragedies as entertainment. So what crime did the Thai murder babes committed? Let's find out. The victim was Warisara Klindri. Let's call her for short. She was only 22 years old and she was working at a karaoke bar as a hostess. Some sources said that was dealing with drugs. She had some relations within the drug world. Here's the complicated part. She was labelled as a lesbian by media outlets because at that time, she was in a relationship with another female who was an old classmate. But as I dig deeper, it turns out that was actually married and her 35-year-old husband wasn't aware of the fact that she was working as a hostess and that she was in a relationship with another female. He was also not aware about the drugs she was doing and dealing. Other sources also revealed that had a string of girlfriends and enjoyed having group sex with women she had met over the internet. Unfortunately, husband was very busy with work and had to be away most of the time, so was able to do what she did without him knowing. Would tell her husband that she would spend time with her mother whenever he's away, so this came as a shock to him. She was really living a double life. During time working as a karaoke hostess, she was friends with 24-year-old Priyanuk Pro Nonwang Chai and 25-year-old Kawita Rachada. Working as a hostess includes welcoming and entertaining guests, but I do believe that they were doing more because several articles did state they were doing some sex work or prostitution from time to time. And if you didn't know, prostitution in Thailand is technically illegal, but it still has a very visible presence along the streets of Bangkok, Pattaya, and any other major population hub. People do sex work for various reasons, most of the time because they needed money or they were forced into doing it. Or there's human trafficking involved and you would be surprised to know that child sex work do exist. It was alleged that underage girls were offered to government officials as dessert. And for today's case, I do believe that they were dabbling in sex work because of money. They wanted to live lavishly. So it was reported that Nongwan Chai and had some tensions between them, and the tension kept growing because failed to pay back a drug debt of 1500 baht, which is around 45 USD. And it was said that Nongwan Chai and her husband were both also doing and dealing with drugs, specifically with methamphetamine. Things got worse when decided to report Nongwan Chai's husband for drug dealing and the authorities arrested him. Not long after, suddenly disappeared. At first, the police had a suspect in mind relating to disappearance, and that suspect was husband, 35-year-old Sakchai Baftongdi, who was often away for work. But he himself was truly shocked to learn so many things about his wife. Like I've mentioned before, he didn't know she was a hostess, had a girlfriend, or even dealing and doing drugs. So he was absolutely innocent and had no idea where his wife went. CCTV footage later revealed that on the 23rd of May 2017, was seen entering into a car which was later revealed to be a rented car, and this would be the last time she was seen alive. And that was the day her co-workers also told the police that they last saw her. Nongwan Chai and Rachada were the two people who were with when she had entered the car. They told that they had a job opportunity for her and wanted to discuss more. After was inside the car, Nongwan Chai suddenly turned violent and covered head with a plastic bag that she got from a convenience store earlier. She strangled and beat to death. According to her, she didn't mean for the murder to happen and that it was only an accident. They had only intended to scare Am. But during the assault, she claims that Am shouted, "If I survive, then you die." And this made Nong Wan Chai even more infuriated, causing her to suffocate Am to death. After that, they called 28-year-old Apiwan Sataya Bandit and another friend, a 22-year-old male, Wasin Namprom, to help dispose of Am's body. The group then stopped at a hardware store to purchase a saw. From there, they took the body to a hotel room where, according to driver Wasin Namprom, Nong Wan Chai dismembered Am. According to an employee there, Nong Wan Chai and company left without paying and said they left a strong odor in the room. Am's body was hacked in half. Her buttocks, legs, and her feet were wrapped in garbage bags and placed into one bin. And in another bin was her torso with her arms and head still intact, but her hands were cut off. There are pictures online that are not censored, and I don't recommend you looking for them if you have a weak heart. The thing with Thai media, they are very open about not censoring dead bodies. Of course, some netizens were not pleased because it's disrespectful. There have been many occasions of other cases when such uncensored pictures were circulating around. For example, the latest Thai case involving a very famous actress named Thangmonida. Her dead body photos were circulated everywhere and it was just terrible. And in another case, there was this missing Thai model named Kendo. His body was found in the river and a Thai rescue team actually did a Facebook Live while retrieving the dead body. It's really bizarre to me. So after placing the body in 2 bins, they proceeded to dig a shallow grave and buried Am's remains in it. The body was buried near a Thai resort in Khon Kaen and they had used steel sheets to cover the grave. Unfortunately for them, the foul smell from the body alerted some passerby and the authorities were called about it. On the 25th of May 2017, the authorities went to the makeshift grave and found Am's body cut in half, wrapped in garbage bags and stuffed into bins. Police were able to identify the body as Am's based on her distinctive tattoos. Allegedly, Nong Wan Chai planned the murder. She directed it and the rest were accomplices. There's a lot of media attention surrounding the suspects, especially ringleader Nong Wan Chai. She has somehow been glorified as a femme fatale and the Thai media was so obsessed with them, with Nong Wan Chai in particular. Whatever information they could get, for example like what she did for a living and her life growing up and even the most intimate details of her life, they were all published on television. Her face has been seen on the front page of every newspaper and every TV channel in Thailand. The public became so obsessed with her story that some reporters call it the Pro phenomenon. Pro is her nickname. It was reported that Nong Wan Chai would charge men up to 5,000 Thai baht a night for her sexual services. That's about $145. But this was not all. She was also earning some income from being a webcam model. Because she was earning quite a bit from all this job that she was doing, she was able to get extensive plastic surgery. She wasn't from a wealthy background, she grew up on a poor farm. As mentioned before, she was doing drugs regularly, methamphetamine in particular. She used to have drug-fueled sex sessions with her clients and other women. On social media, Nong Wan Chai displayed a lifestyle unlike her upbringing in an impoverished rural community. She frequently spotted designer shoes and handbags and often took photos and videos with large stacks of cash and white powder. Many believe this video is drug-related. After the crime, Nong Wan Chai uploaded a few pictures of one of horror's most recognizable characters, Chucky, the murderous doll. Despite all this, one article stated that Nong Wan Chai was a dutiful daughter. The article even praised her for building a house for her mother. The day after the murder, Nong Wan Chai, Rachada and Apiwan Sataya Bandit fled to Myanmar, Burma, an 11-hour drive northwest by car. Wasin Nampron and Jidarat Promkun fled to Laos, a smaller trip directly north of Khon Kaen. The couple were the first to be found. Wasin claimed to be driving the car as the murder took place and Jidarat claiming Nong Wan Chai asked her to sell the victim's mobile phone and valuables. The 3 ladies on the other hand eventually turned themselves in when they were being captured on camera while they were out shopping. The woman seemed so unconcerned while on the run. Nong Wan Chai had even sent revealing pictures of herself to massage parlours in the area while job hunting and worked for 2 nights at a sex bar but had to retreat to smaller villages as pressure from authorities grew. They were flown back to Thailand for the case. All of them were charged with premeditated murder, including concealing the victim's dead body, theft, and overstaying their visas in Myanmar. This murder case was very widely publicized in Thailand, and oddly, these killers even had fans and supporters. Public fans rallied around Nong Wan Chai and her accomplices online, giving them credit for coming forward and showing a human sense of responsibility. Because the country was so obsessed with the killers, this led to an immense sales of keychains, posters, and other items associated with them. One of the top-selling items was a replica of a pillow Nong Wan Chai used while under police custody. And when the media released footage of the suspects carrying colourful striped bags, the accessories became a hot commodity. Stores even began selling saw-shaped keychains displaying Nong Wan Chai's photo. It's so weird that people were idolizing them. I find this really disturbing, in fact. And that's not all. Even the law enforcement got swept up in the murder babes hype. How disappointing. Pictures surface of the woman leisurely smoking cigarettes and putting on makeup. In some photos, Nong Wan Chai posed with police officers, laughing and flashing a peace sign while wearing a face mask. They were not even handcuffed. The photos just further conclude that the killers were not at all remorseful. The police said it was standard procedure to allow women to put on makeup prior to press conferences. However, the officers that were photographed with Nong Wan Chai were later transferred to another department. There's absolutely no professionalism in the way they handled this case. They handled it so poorly. There was obviously special treatment given to the killers, as the officers themselves can be seen laughing along in the pictures, having a jolly good time with them. Police then led the three women in a reenactment of the crime. When they reached the field where Arm's body was disposed of, a wall of police officers was needed to control hundreds of angry villagers. The Bangkok Post quoted one onlooker saying she just wanted to see with her own eyes the beautiful face but cruel mind. The suspects apologized to the family of the victim, but some Thai observers thought the apology came off as insincere. As for the sentencing, Nong Wan Chai and Rachada were sentenced to life imprisonment for conspiring to murder Arm, conspiring to destroy and hide her body, and conspiring in theft, but later got their sentence reduced to 34 years and 6 months because they cooperated and confessed. Satya Bandit, on the other hand, was found guilty of conspiracy to murder, conspiracy to destroy and hide the body, and taking methamphetamine, and was handed 33 years and 9 months in jail. Wasin Namprom, the only male member, was found guilty of being an accessory to the murder, conspiring to destroy and hide the body, and conspiring in theft, and was sentenced to 23 years, 4 months and 20 days. The four were ordered to pay 1 million baht to support the family of the victim and 100,000 baht for her funeral. A fifth defendant, Jidarat Promkun, who is the partner of Wasin, was sentenced to 1 year for receiving the victim's stolen phone to sell. Many fear the interest in the case will lead to copycat killings, and instead of being treated like she was guilty for killing, people are accepting and supporting her, and they see her as a hero for some reason. There is this fear that many people will try to be like her, and that's really dangerous. It's like telling people that if you can't be famous, be infamous. The media devoured every scrap and tidbit. One paper even interviewed the pilot who flew the suspects back to Thailand, and the title read, "Pilot who flew murder gang that dismembered Arm opens his heart." I think they were trying to say that the pilot fell in love with the killers. And there was another network that aired mobile phone footage of Nong Wan Chai having phone sex with her boyfriend, allowing her moaning sounds to be aired on TV. Her naked pictures can even be found easily online. The media even interviewed the merchants that were selling items associated with Nong Wan Chai and her friends, and they were saying how they were so appreciative of them because they increased their sales. It's basically articles glorifying the killers. Because of this, the Thai military government made move to require everyone working in the press to have a government-approved license, so that hopefully there won't be a repeated incident where the media handle it so distastefully. And so we have come to an end for today's story. Thank you for staying with me till the very end. I hope you guys are taking good care of yourself, and I hope to see you guys again next Thursday.